Okay, here as you can see I'm doing some marks to give an idea how the dog is positioned, so it will fit on my piece of paper. So when I've done the marks, I'm trying to create a slight outline with a soft blending tool with a little bit of a pan pastel on it, to approximately see that the position of the dog is right on the paper. The main thing obviously eyes and nose. You can see I'm trying to sketch it now, and it is fast forwarded. I know you cannot do this fast, but please pause if you need. So we're creating the outlines. So here I already jumped to creating a bit of an underlayer column. So I'm trying to find the approximate color as on our doggy and put some with a soft blending tool again, put some on the paper so we've got an underlayer and it's easier for us to work on the top of it because we already got a bit of color added to our sketch. Now I'm taking my stick to support my hand, and I took a hard pastel sticks, and I'm gonna work a bit more with outlines where we can see them more crisp, more sharper, and create a little bit of direction of the fur now here as well. As I said before, please just pause and work on it because I had to fast forward it, otherwise it would take forever to see the video. So I'm creating, you see, not very fine details, definitely not, just a rough idea of the outlines, but with a bit more lines, darker lines, clearer lines, so we can work further on this. It's a kind of another type of underlayer. So keep and look at the references, and also keep on comparing, like, so where's, like, say the eyes are positioned if you compare them with the nose. So for example, I can see that the nose is positioned under the left eye but away from the right eye, so I'm actually talking opposite now, but you know what I mean. And also the ear is positioned right under the eyes, so you always have to compare, as well as, for example, paw. The paw position, the dog's right paw position under the right eye, and the left one slightly on the side. So you keep on comparing and creating these lines, these rough lines with your hard pastel stick. And don't put too much pressure, please, on a pastel stick. Now what I'm using is a blending tool. It's a paper tool, and it's created soft lines. So literally what I'm doing is I'm going on the top of this darker lines which we created earlier, and go all around, just blending to create a soft look, because we would like our doggy to look soft fur and nice. Yeah, and carry on doing this, creating another underlayer, I'd say. Right now I'm taking a pastel pencil and I'm working a bit more with the eyes, with the details which are more crisp, more bright. And I started with the eyes, and pencils is the best option because it's smaller, it's more comfortable to work with the eyes with pencil. Well, first I put the brown, then I put the black and the light kind of color around to create a highlight. I also give a slight idea of highlight, not very bright at the moment, but I'd like to do this because then you can see the already idea of our future pet. We can compare whether he looks like the pet on a photograph. So that's why I prefer to work all together with all the picture. So it's a freehand. Don't be too strict to yourself. Carry on. Freehand is not easy a lot of times, and it takes a lot of work. But this is a sketch, so we're not going to go too detailed. We're just going to create it approximate. Our main idea is a copy the dog and create it a kind of more realistic look by highlighting areas and shading areas. And yeah, so at the moment what I'm doing is I'm working more on that underlayers which we created with you with the details. So for this I'm using a lot of pencils, pastel pencils, as well as pastel sticks. Pastel sticks are very good. Hard pastel at the moment I'm using for the highlighted areas. They're brighter than the pencils, but I also use a lot of pencils. The same time, when I'm going to be working with details here, and you will see it shortly, I am using normal colored pencils because they're very good on a Fisher 400, and then they can create nice thin sharp lines. This is a highlight on where the white fur of the dog is going, which is really good with the hard pastel stick, and you can create it because we created a dark underlay underneath. Also, one thing I would like to mention, I use sometimes a black chalk pencil, and it's very good when we want to create a darker color, really black color. So there's one more pastel which could create a really black color, but I'm not going to be talking about this today. I'll talk about this next tutorial. So at the moment I realized that my dog didn't actually fit on the page, so I had to take a tape from the top and I draw a little bit of outlines. I need to say that when I draw for the camera, it's not easy because I'm sitting on an angle and I look on a picture on an angle, so it's a bit like distorting view, I'd say. So for you, I'd always suggest sit straight in front of your easel, keep your paper, keep your canvas in a vertical position so you can see it upright, not laying down. And also try to set the picture, if it is on computer, and approximate the same size like you can see it on your drawing. So that would definitely help you to create better results, better right proportions. And be prepared to do some mistakes, so don't put too much pressure on your pastels. Fisher 400 would take lots and lots of layers, and you still can remove layers, you still can remove some lines which you don't like, so it's a very nice paper. Also a good thing to have when you work with the pastel, and for Fisher 400 it works perfectly, is a kneadable rubber, which I was using a minute ago when I was trying to clearing the side where from the side of the nose. It does very good job on a Fisher 400, and it's very convenient because you can just make it shape you need. So overall, just carry on working, see where the more highlighted area on the dog, use a lighter colors, see where the darker area are and use the darker colors, and use the mixture of colored pencils, pastel pencils and pastel sticks when we're working with details. So and working with the fur it's just I could see that he's got a bit of, like, you know, probably after his haircut, we can see the lines how the fur laying. So I'm trying to create it. I'm not very precise, I'm just giving a rough idea, and also using blending tool to create this look, like, you know, a nice cut hair. So you can carry on, you can do the same with the blending tool, a little bit of a pan pastel, and do the shades. Soft pastel sticks will just carry on just creating these lines, and you can see how crisp and nice lines with this Fisher 400. Still would be one of my favorite papers to draw, and for sketches I just love it for sketches. Yeah, so we'll just carry on working and creating, like, approximate idea for, like, it's not very detailed. We will work a bit more with the details, but for paws, for the bottom of the body, it's a bit approximate. So here is just I'm doing a bit more outline, and using the brush. For example, when I notice I've done a mistake, I need to remove some pastel, I can use the brush to brush it off, because, for example, there I had to remove the darker and put the light on it. So I remove pastel first with a brush and then put the white one. Now I'm doing kind of the underneath the dog, the blanket, or the idea of the blanket, I'd say more. I don't concentrate with my sketches too much on the details with things like blanket or something like this. I'm just looking at the colors, what in there, trying to get them right. Just do some strokes with soft pastel sticks, and then just blend them with a finger, blend them with a blending tool, and adding some more darker colors where I think, you know, that kind of it's more shadowy area. Or they, for example, I'd want it to be darker on this side, because I want, you know, the fur to be more you know, clear. When I just done the dark lines, now I'm gonna with a white pastel stick around it, and you can see the fur more clearly now. Do not worry too much with the sketch if your pastel stick catch the color which you know used, because it's not too much to worry about when you do the you know a sketch. Just go for it, and it will blend, and it will be almost like, you know, the right shades on the fur as well. Otherwise, if you want a perfectly white clean light, when you go on the top of the other color, you just will need to clear pastel stick or pastel pencil every single time before you bring the line. Or there's another way to do it, is just using fixative, but I will tell about this more in another video. Here's the last touches, is just some highlights in the eyes. For this I'm using very, like, you know, soft white bright pastel stick. Okay, so here's the picture which I took. when I completed the sketch. You pretty much have seen all the process while I was doing it. It took me about 2 hours, so it may take you a bit longer or a bit less. It depends how good you are at it and how hard you're trying. If you look closely to this picture, you see that I didn't really pay too much attention to a perfect way the fur is laying, the strokes are. It's a bit rough, but that's what I call sketch. So I had to adjust a little bit the ears and the legs when I stopped filming, because I said it was really tricky to do it right when you look from the angle on a photo on a canvas. I'd always advise you to put your canvas straight in front of you, like and also the computer screen. It's easier. Right size, approximately the same size, which is on your paper, and also the straight way in front of you. I'd always recommend easel. It's really hard to draw when it is flat, so you need to keep it vertical in front of you. So that's how you actually would be much better with proportions. Always compare where one subject in compare with the other one, like say for example one piece, for example nose in compare with the eyes, for example left paw in compare with the left eye, or nose, the ears. When you will be comparing it, you look at the photo and you see, okay, so I can see that the nose is literally under this eye, so I need to make sure on my sketch it is under this eye. So so it is a freehand. It is you have to keep on trying, but it's very good when we practice freehand drawing. It gives you more skills, you're getting more confident in drawings. I tried to show you all the details all the details of the things I was using to create this pastel sketch. And for me, it's like, pleasure. I could draw non-stop, and I hope it was a little bit helpful for you, and you managed to create a nice sketch. You're welcome to use the image of this dog, or you can use image of another dog, but hopefully you had some help with this little tutorial. Okay, so if you are interested in seeing more of my videos, please subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.